Hello and welcome back to the Daily Vibe with Rox and Ant.
Yes.
And it has been one very hectic day today.
Yeah. It's been a pretty crazy morning.
So last night, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, we had a very cold front come in here. I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but there's ice everywhere on the ground.
Yeah, maybe you can hear the wind blowing.
Yeah, sorry about the wind noise, if there's wind noise there. But it got down to 2 degrees here last night. And with a wind chill of -30, right? Is it 30? Or 20?
Yeah, and
30
it
or
felt
20.
like -13 outside. It's so cold. It's cold out here right now.
Yeah, we're freezing.
It's not as bad though as it was last night. Oh.
So we went to my mom's house last night and did like the Christmas Eve thing a little early because Dawn, she wasn't able to be here on, tomorrow on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So all the kids opened their presents from grandmas and, aunts and stuff like that.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really good time. Come home and it was really, really cold and,
Yeah.
bundled up for the night and everything was great and wonderful until we woke up this morning. Woke up this morning and Roxanne wakes me up. It's like, hey babe, I think our pipes froze.
Yeah.
Is what she said.
I think the pipes are frozen. I said.
Come on, no. Because it's already froze here a bunch, guys. It's been down to like 22. It's been down to 25.
Yeah, just before all this happened, it was down to like 27 degrees. I mean, it's been cold.
So.
But not like this.
Hold that real quick. So, as we've told you guys or said before, if it gets down to like 22 degrees and nothing freezes, as far as we're concerned, everything's working good, right? Because, I mean, water freezes at 32, as you guys know.
Yeah.
So we thought we were good, and so I'm like, all right. And sure enough, nothing was working. And so I get dressed, and I'm kind of upset, right? I'm like, man, it's right before Christmas. And start putting my boots on and get on up and get out by the front door, and I noticed that Gary's walking over here too. And I come outside, I'm all, hey man, you guys' pipes frozen? He's like, yep. I'm like, all right, cool. Right? Not in a good way, but I'm like, all right, so
Yeah, it's not just us.
it's not just me, so maybe it's something more central like the well or the lines in the ground, something, right? It's not maybe it won't be my house.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, guys, all day today, Gary and myself have been messing with our well because our well froze.
Yeah.
And this is a fluke over here for this weather, guys. I've been talking to some people that lived here for a long time and looking at past history, weather trends and different things. And to get down that cold, it hasn't been like this in like 10 years. And then it was only like 1 or 2 days. And then it was like years and years and years before then. So this was not expected. And we thought with the well house being made out of, blocks and it's covered pretty good, that we figured it's not going to freeze in there. But we were wrong. And so, like I said, me and Gary all day today been messing with this well. We took the hose bib off. And there was, it was full of ice. Luckily, none of the pipes broke.
Yeah.
Which is dumbfounding to me that nothing broke.
It's just, so was it the pressure tank?
It was the pipe.
It was a pipe. So the ground got that cold, huh?
It got pretty cold.
Yeah.
And so we put, yeah, I know it's pretty cold right now. But we got 2 heaters and we put them inside the well house. I had like a heat gun, a stationary heat gun that I used before. I put that in there and we warmed it up in there and it took like 4 hours.
Yeah, we've only had the water back on for like the last hour or so.
Maybe, yeah. And so it took us a long time to get that fixed, and we finally got it fixed. And of course, right when the water is working over here, we turned the water off to our house to make sure. And so we had the water running here after about 4 hours, and we're like, oh, thank God it's working. All right. And now was the big test to make sure it still worked in the house, to make sure nothing froze inside the house also.
So we don't have to be waiting for the house to
Right.
frost.
And so we turned the valve on to come, you know, the water go into our house. I told Roxanne turn on all the cold water valves and stuff, and I run over there and everything's on, everything's working.
Yep.
Right. So our house pipes didn't freeze.
No.
Hot or cold, neither one of them froze, but the well froze.
Yeah.
And so that makes me feel a little bit good, because at 2 degrees outside and our house pipes, even though they're PEX and all that stuff, none of that froze, but the well froze, and it was not insulated, guys, the well.
Yeah.
Just the ceiling was. So we insulated it now.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we spent this morning too insulating. And
you want to show them?
yeah, I don't really want to open it too much right now.
I know.
No.
It's true. Huh?
It's just insulation. It's all wrapped and insulated. Because tonight's going to be really, really cold again.
Not as cold as last night, though.
No, but it's going to be 11 degrees tonight.
Yeah, it's going to get down, and I'm sure there's going to be a wind chill factor. Because it's blowing right now.
Yeah, it is really, really cold. And so, sorry for the sun.
So you and Gary saved the day.
Yeah, I mean, the best we could.
You got the heaters on in there right now still?
No, there's no heaters in the well house right now.
Okay.
But it's insulated now. It wasn't insulated before.
Yeah.
Here, let me take this for a minute. Let me rest my hand for
I
a
know,
second.
that's why I was, sorry, I had to readjust there. So they just finished that not too long ago. Came back in and we said, well, we should probably do a vibe, let everybody know we're okay. And
yeah, we were planning on doing one.
it was just a crazy hectic morning, in and out of the house, you know, waiting around, you know, couldn't really do anything, didn't get the chance to do dishes, and you know, kind of ruined my day's plan, though, I'll say that much, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna do laundry today and clean the house and blah 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 blah, and then we had no water and didn't get water till just recently, so I've kind of lost my momentum.
Yeah. It's crazy though, guys, because it's like I said, this this cold of temperature is not a normal thing.
No, it's a fluke thing. Like I said, I've never been in this cold.
Yeah, only once in my life have I been in
Yeah,
2 degree weather.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, I'm super bundled up right now, so I will say though, my feet aren't cold.
My feet aren't cold right now.
Yeah.
My hands are freezing.
Yeah, well, this hand's nice and toasty warm. We got hot chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolate to keep us warm. And another thing I was worried about after we noticed that froze, and last night I knew it was going to freeze, but our pool, we still haven't drained our pool.
Yeah.
It's one of those things we've been meaning to do. We just haven't done it, and we're probably going to pay the price for it eventually.
Probably.
But this thing is, I mean, it's an ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at the bug in there.
I know. And so, hopefully this pool doesn't break. I talked to Gary today and said, hey man, when this thaws out and everything, we need to drain this thing.
Yeah.
It needs to be drained, because I don't want this pool to go to waste. It was expensive. But there's so much stuff that goes on, and so many little things you forget to do.
Well,
And
some
life
things-
takes over, and
yeah,
then
you keep meaning to do them, and then, yeah, like you said, life takes over, and then you walk by the pool every day or every time, and you're like, man, we should drain this pool.
Yeah, but I got to get this done.
But I'm working
Yeah.
on this right now, you know. So.
Oh no, I feel fortunate though that, like I said, nothing on the well house, nothing broke. I could have swore when we found out that it was frozen, in my mind I was like, well, on Christmas Eve, just tomorrow and today, me and Gary are gonna be working on this well, trying to get all this stuff fixed, because I mean, what a horrible thing that would be on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve and everything, not to have any water.
Yeah, I can't cook.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
it
so
would have
you
been a
guys.
rough one here. My hand is frozen.
Yeah, well, you guys went down there and checked the camp well earlier too, and that one
Yeah,
was
that
good.
one's fine, and that one's insulated.
Yeah, so like that's a good thing. Like at least we still have that well over there as backup if this one, you know, never came back up right now.
But you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
having to get buckets of water.
I was gonna say it would really suck though, because we'd have to haul water from over there to over here.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
I would have done it.
I would have done it too. You know, we all would have been getting some water, but it just would have been rough.
Yep. So that's what's been going on today, guys.
Yeah. Wyatt and myself have been staying pretty much in the house the entire time, staying toasty warm.
Yeah, and I've been outside in the frozen
Yeah,
tundra.
I've been, poor Anthony and Gary, they've been both outside, you know, busy and outside for a while, freezing to death.
That's all right. It needed to get fixed.
Yeah, no, it needed to get done, and I was gonna go out there, but I was like, well, I don't think I can offer any help right now, besides just offering some wordly advice, I guess.
Some sympathy.
Yeah. I made you hot chocolate, so.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you want some of this hot chocolate? That was
really
Wyatt's
good.
idea. He suggested it, so.
Yep. And another thing I was really worried about, guys, because it was so cold, I was worried about the chickens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not so much about the ladies and Frank and Medina, but more about Reek and Aaron, because they're in the hoop coop.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys are in like the Taj Mahal of chicken coops kind of a thing. But that was one of the first things I checked too after I got dressed and right before we started working on the well. I ran over there to double check to make sure that they were okay. Because I mean, it was cold.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Well, you checked on them too last night.
I checked on them last night before we went to bed, and they were fine. They were all huddled up, and then this morning they're fine. So, I mean, chickens are very resilient when it comes to the cold. They can go down pretty low temperatures and be okay. Their feathers, you know, block a lot of the wind, so that's a good thing. But they're doing all right. You all done?
I checked mine.
But you can see the ice and snow everywhere. It's mainly ice.
Yeah. It
But-
did snow a little bit.
Yeah, it snowed a little bit yesterday, but it's mainly ice now. And they're all doing good though, so that makes me feel good. Hopefully, and I mean at 2 degrees, if nothing happened to them, you know. But they're enjoying the sun. Huh?
I said, thank goodness they're okay.
Yeah. Their water's frozen, which I gotta bring them some water out here. But Reek and Aaron, they're doing all right. I was worried because, you know, it's just an open hoop coop. I was just hoping they wouldn't freeze, and they didn't freeze. So, that's a good thing. What's going on, Reek? Why are you in there hanging out? Because it's warmer?
I was going to say quiet in there because of the wind blocking.
Yeah. And so another thing we had to do yesterday, guys, just so you guys know, we had to round up all the cats and all the dogs. And the cats, they're kind of hard to grab because a lot of them, like Shadow and Michonne, they hang out in the woods.
Yeah, and they're like outdoor cats.
Yeah, so...
You know, you can't grab them and like hold them.
Yeah. And so Midnight and Twister, they're always around. They're around the food bowl all the time.
Yeah.
They're the two lazy house cats, right? Yeah. So they're always real close. And so we had to grab Flower, Twister, Midnight, Sylvia, Michonne, and Shadow.
Blue.
And Blue. And we brought them inside the house and put them, the only thing we had was a small little cage, and they were fine.
They were fine, yeah.
We let Midnight and Twister hang out.
Sylvia too.
Yeah, and Sylvia. We let them hang out. Not in the cage. And the rest of the cats were stuffed in that little tiny cage.
Yeah.
But it was just for nighttime, and they were nice and toasty warm. And Jaina and Mora and Tank, we put them in Thunderdome in the bigger cage, and they were nice and toasty warm too.
Yeah, well that's where they're at right now.
Yeah, they're in there right now. They don't even want to be outside because it's
They
so
were
cold.
out a little bit ago. Luna's out.
Well, Luna's a husky though.
You should let more out so they can play.
You can let her out if you want.
I'll let more out. Or I'll let her go.
But so that's one of my big worries. Was last night I was like, man, I really hope I can find. It was mainly Shadow and Michonne. I was like, I hope I can find them. I hope they're not hiding somewhere, you know, trying to stay warm and we can't find them. Because, I mean, there's a big possibility if we didn't find them, they could have froze to death last night. So. Okay, go
Yeah,
play.
right. Lauren didn't even get a chance to get out of the door. She's like, hey, wait a minute. I don't even know where
they
I'm
want to
at.
go play. Dogs.
The chaos.
Yep, that's usually in the morning.
Okay,
But-
beat it. Beat. Come on, get off the deck.
But we want to share that with you guys here on the vibe. So it wasn't the best vibes this morning at first,
No.
but now it's good vibes because everything's working again and nothing broke.
Yep.
So
It's very good, and I'm glad the water's back on. And...
yeah.
Oh, and we are going to drip our faucets tonight.
Yes, we're gonna drip the faucets. I talked to Melanie and Gary. They're gonna do the same, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Right, until we can know for a fact everything's not gonna freeze anymore, and it's just what has to happen.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. Have fun time spending it with friends and family, or whoever you're gonna spend it with.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We will see you guys all fresh and early on Monday. So thanks for being here. Stay motivated,
Yes.
and hope your vibe is as good as ours is now. Catch you guys all on Monday. Bye.
Bye.